Good morning, everybody. My name is David Jackson. I'm your FES administrator for the Washington Fire Department. I'm going to serve as your PIO today, and we're going to discuss the recent incident that happened with the train derailment and the hazmat situation that was involved. There's been some media speculation about the Washington Fire Department's staffing levels. We also want to talk about the relationship with our fire department, with our elected officials and the general public. We're also going to talk a little bit about the actual train derailment and what subsequently happened after that. To give you guys a background, we're going to talk about NFPA 1710. Provides the minimum requirements relating to the organization and deployment of fire suppression operations, emergency medical operations, and special operations to the public by career fire departments. For the 2016 edition of that standard, subsection 5.2.4 on the fire department service deployment, it was revised to include 3 new occupancies along with the appropriate response staffing level for each. For the full breakdown of all the staffing requirements by position, refer to the subsection specific to each occupancy in 5.2.4. So for single-family dwellings, there should be a minimum of 14 firefighters or 15 firefighters if an aerial device is being used, a ladder truck. The initial full alarm assignment for a structure fire in a typical 2,000 square foot, 2-story, single-family dwelling without a basement and with no exposures must provide for a minimum of 14 firefighters. Again, 15 firefighters if there's an aerial device being used. That's per NFPA. As a department and city representatives, they're working hard together to diligently be able to provide more adequate staffing on our trucks while also being fiscally conservative and responsible. We're working with city leadership to come up with a progressive plan to be able to increase the amount of firefighters on the truck without decreasing the amount of actual fire trucks on the road. Meaning, if we have 2 guys on a truck and there's 3 trucks, we don't want to down 1 truck and put 2 guys on each, making it 3 on each. So we want to try to have actually 3 and 3 and 3. That we're providing an adequate amount of staffing in trucks. Right now, we're currently requesting grants to be able to restore funding to the fire department in order to increase the amount of the firefighters in the truck. That way, we can provide a more effective level of response and a safer incident scene for all. We will certainly inform the public of any changes as we see them. So for background information for the incident, a train derailed on the hill between the Washington River and the main road leading to a nursing home, where the majority of the residents in that nursing home are confined to their bed and are unable to evacuate. In the past, the fire department was notified of concerns of chemicals reaching inside the nursing home based on past experience of flooded waters reaching through the doors of the nursing home. Because of the derailment, several of the rail cars were carrying a hazardous material solution that began to leak from the rail car. The firefighters were basically faced with a decision to either A, protect the residents and the staff of the nursing home from a direct exposure to that hazardous material, or B, to allow it to enter the residents and create a toxic environment, which could have potentially added more victims to the train derailment. The firefighters chose to dike the area to protect it, which resulted in some of the hazardous material leaking into the river. The result of that chemical spill resulted in different species of fish dying. Right now, we're currently working with the EPA to be able to mitigate the leak into the river and formulate steps to regain the river's capacity. We're asking the public not to swim in the river, not to drink the water due to it being contaminated. And again, we'll let everybody know as soon as it's clear to be able to do those activities again. As the FES administrator, I've recognized the need for a specialized unit to be able to respond to an increasing number of hazardous materials incidents in Washington and the surrounding communities. Administrators are working hard to make sure that WFD complies with OSHA regulations for a hazmat response. Currently, all members of the fire department are hazmat awareness level of training, and we're working to get everyone in compliance with a hazmat technician level. For the general public, hazardous waste operations and emergency response, also known as HAZWOPER, is the emergency response program to hazardous substance releases. It addresses employees whose workers are engaged in emergency response, no matter where it occurs. One of the issues regarding the hot zone of this incident is a life safety factor. Firefighters had to do what they could in order to save the lives of the residents of the nursing home. Without the firefighters going inside the hot zone, they were unable to mitigate the current issue and would have resulted in the possibility of many deaths within the nursing home. But the fire department is currently working on increasing the hazmat level again from an awareness level to a technician level. From the fire department standpoint, we'd like to let the elected officials know and the public that our incident objectives are in order based on safety and priority. Our first objective is to always protect the health and safety of the public and our responders. Second objective after the first one is to protect sensitive areas to minimize the impact to the environment, cultural, subsistence, and economic resources and property. This incident is an ever-changing incident, so we'll keep the public informed of any status changes. Thank you very much. Again, my name is David Jackson. I am the FES Administrator for the Washington Fire Department and your PIO. Thank you very much.